Yo, yo, it's JSF. How y'all doing? And I know some of y'all, some people are going to be like, wow, it's way too early for this. Why are you doing a tier list video? There's no reason to do that. It doesn't make any sense. The game just came out a few days ago, blah, 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 blah. And my answer to that will be, that's the whole point of this video. This is the way too early tier list. This is the we just got the game tier list. But I wanted to do a week 1 tier list. And I know the game came out June 11th, but if you got the deluxe edition, you know, the early access edition, you got it 3 days early, which a lot of us did. So a lot of us have been playing this for a week. Some people got it before that somehow because, you know, the streets is the streets. Yeah, so we've been playing this game for a week. We've also had multiple betas, and there's some tweaks from the beta, but the game isn't drastically different. So at this point, we pretty much have an idea of like how some characters feel, how some characters fare versus others. So I wanted to do a little tier list, man, a little tier list. And I do want to say before I start this tier list, I don't think there are any bad characters in this game. Like, as I look at the cast right now, I don't really think any character is trash, any character is bad or anything. There are some characters that could use buffs compared to others, or maybe some characters that could get slightly toned down, but only slightly. I don't think any character needs to be like nerfed into the ground at all. So anyway, I want to start with the top of the tier list. This is absolutely no secret. I think we all know. I think we all know the vibes. We all know who numero uno is in this game. S+ is for your boy Soul. Soul Badguy is the best character in this game. There's absolutely no question. Again, there are other characters that are really strong, but the difference is Soul just has too much. Like, his access to plus frames is incredibly easy to get. He can anti-air, he can air-to-air into good-ass combos, wall break. He does hella high damage. He builds so much meter, like especially if he's staggering. Like, his strike throw game is mad good. His command grab is also there as well. He does have some matchups where he doesn't seem like, at least from my experience, right? Because I started playing Soul a few days ago. At least in my experience, there are a couple of matchups that don't feel amazing for him, but he always has options, right? If he's getting, like, he has a long range button, he has far slash, he has vortex if he's getting completely out of space, and if he has meter, he can just vortex RC and basically have a low profiling command dash and be completely safe. And the shit goes basically full screen if you hold it. So yeah, he kind of, and then once he gets in, he's a nightmare for any character to deal with. Like, he also is one of 2 characters in this game with a 3-frame button. And that 3-frame button can Gatling into another button, into a special, into a whole ass combo that can wall break and do mad damage. Yeah, he's just got it all, man. He can do everything. He's got a dive kick that's -2, and he can do shit after, he can mash after, he can backdash after, because he's got good buttons. In the Whiff Punish You, yeah, I've already made a video about his far slash. If you haven't seen that, check it out. Why that button is better than you think. But yeah, anyway, I think we all know Soul is mad good. So I'm just gonna, you know, I play this character, so I know probably more about him than a lot of the characters, but we all know Soul is busted. Anyway, so who's next? Who's next, right? After Soul. Now, I don't think anybody else is S+, because Soul is just ridiculous. His combo routes, conversions, all that shit. But there are some characters that I think are very close to being as ignorant as Soul. So, next up, we got who I think is the most annoying character in the game. Young Tatsugeki herself, Mei. Some people might disagree with this, but honestly, I don't know how and I don't know why. This character is so oppressive. H Dolphin is plus on block. S Dolphin is safe. And she like can pretty much mash after. I mean, granted, you can hit her out of Dolphin, but good luck just sitting there whiffing 6P, like, and not getting whiff punished at all for it. You know what I mean? She's also got really good long range button. She's got a command grab. That's gonna be a theme here too, like characters who got, because every character in this game has some kind of low starter with 2k. Every character has dust, which is an overhead, but characters who got like other overheads, got command grabs and other ways to open you up are usually pretty strong. Mei's got the best jump button in the game with her jump heavy slash. That button is so degenerate. That's why I put up that video, just Mei players in a nutshell. It's literally instant air dash back H, and there's damn near nothing you can do about it. until she does it to you. She's got her drop move. I don't know what her anchor drop is, like fucking Frank West knee drop. It's not a dive kick, but she just falls straight down. I don't know the frame date on it, but that move is annoying too. It switches up her jump arc. She's got a lot, man. She's got a lot of, she's got a guard break button as well. Like, just like a lot of characters do, right? Leo's got one, Soul's got one with Fafnir. It's not like a guard crush, but it's like a guard crush. It's not an unblockable, but it seems like one. Mei's just really good, man. She's super impressive. I don't think I need to explain why Mei is good. I think if you've ever fought a Mei player, you were like, holy shit, what do I do? Right? So that's Mei. I think she's top 3. And then next we got good old Leo Whitefang. Now I know the first thing to think is, oh, Leo is mix-ups, gimmicks, and shit like that. But his run-through is not totally a gimmick. I thought it was. And you know what I mean? One of the first things you learn playing this game, or at least if you play through all the mission modes, is you can grab him out of run-through, right? His Berserker Slash, whatever you want to call it. His run-through, like, you can grab it. But the thing they don't tell you is at some ranges, you can't grab it. You can mash out of it too. You can mash 5P, 2P, whatever. Sometimes, but if you whiff, guess what? You get hit. You know what I mean? Or if you mistime it, guess what? You get hit. And if a Leo player is really good at mixing up his options between his lows, between his overheads, between his I forget what button it is, the one that guard crushes, you know what I mean? Like the other moves, that's really slow as well. Like you're looking to block the overhead, then you see that move, then it's like shit. Now he's plus, and now you gotta hold another mix, right? His back turn stance, he also has a command grab. He's also got his counter when he's in back turn. Granted, he can't block, but that counter is mad good. He gets really good Oki, and he can just mix your shit over and over. Really easy to wall break you, or at least get you to the corner off mixing you, and then wall break you and get solid damage. His damage isn't like as good as Soul's or anything for the most part, but his mix is way better, right? He's also got a flash kick. A lot of people say DP, but Leo doesn't have a DP, he has a flash kick. There's a difference. The reason a flash kick is better than a DP is because he doesn't have to do an input for it. It's literally charged down up. So you can never, when you're fighting a Leo player, he can run through at a certain time to fuck up your wake up. So let's say you're trying to wake up DP because you know Leo's not blocking, or you're trying to wake up super because you know Leo's not blocking, or you want to DP RC because that'll get you out of the situation, right? Leo can run through you, reverse your inputs, and depending on the timing, like, good luck getting that. It's hard enough to get a reversal out, but like that's like a big issue I have fighting Leo, that like I'm kind of just stuck and I have to hold the mix all the time. Even if I have full meter and it's like I could do something RC, it's like, nah, I gotta successfully block something, hopefully YRC. Like, he's just really impressive, really, really strong. I mean, Sonic Fox just won the biggest Guilty Gear Strive tournament with Leo. Not that that proves the character's good, I think everything else does, but you know, it's something else to throw out there. It was over 500 entrants, I think, and Sonic won it all with Leo, so Leo's a really good character. Now, I'm gonna stop here. I'm not gonna stop, but I think that's the top 3. I think those are the best characters in the game. I think everyone else falls slightly lower than that. And I know some people are going to say, put Ramlethal up there, put Ramlethal up there. And I think Ramlethal is really, really good. I think she's honestly next after these characters. I think you could argue that she's next to Leo, but I'll put her right here instead. I think she's really oppressive. But once you realize that like her sword shit in the corner, if you get hit, you're fucked. But the pressure is not as bad as it seems. Like if she throws the high sword, you're out of there. You're out of there for free, right? You don't even have to hold that shit at all. You know what I mean? She's a really good character though. She's really impressive, but she doesn't have some of the tools other characters have. She doesn't really have any mix-ups. It's just straight up buttons and pressure. It's just long ass buttons and then corner pressure. Corner pressure is really strong, but other than that, she's a strike throw character. She has to dash up, grab you sometimes. Dash up dust. Her dust attack is not that good either, but that's her only real overhead. She's got her pounce, her little overhead command jump, but it can't cross up anymore. It's really not that good. It's not that useful. Her Wreckage String is, it's okay. Daro's unsafe. Once people start punishing Daro on block, it'll help with the matchup a lot too. I mean, good Ramlethals aren't doing it that much, but I think a lot of people were just getting overwhelmed by the character and not like labbing exploiting some of her shit. Like, I mean, it's not easy to just defend her slash heavy slash, but if you do, depending on the character you play, depending on the matchup, you can punish it. Like when I was playing Kai, if I just defended her slash heavy slash, I could stun dip her and punish it. majority of the time, right? So stuff like that is why I don't have her in the S tier. You know what I mean? I think she's super good. I think she's probably fourth after those three. But I think she's not as impressive as she really seems. There are a few characters like that. But next up, who's next? This is where the tier list gets interesting. At this point, I'm probably gonna go with Ino. At this point, it's not really ordered anymore, though. I'd say the top 3 is ordered. You can say the top 4 is ordered. At this point, it's not really ordered. The A tier is characters that are really strong, but they're not like the best. Like Soul is busted. Leo and May are borderline busted, and these are just really good characters, right? That I wouldn't consider as busted. So I got Ino up here. Stroke the Big Tree is mad good. Ino's 2K is like 5 frames and it's got dumb range. So she could do something like Stroke the Big Tree 2K when you're trying to like take your turn after that, you know what I mean? So it's pretty good. Her fireball is really good. You got to hold that. Her mix is insane. The only reason I don't play Ino is because I couldn't get new players to block consistently with her, but that was more of a me thing. I just needed a character that I could force people to block and that I had a reversal with, and Ino only has a reversal when she has super. She also has a command grab super, which is really good considering she's a heavy mix-up character. Her mix is dumb good. If Ino gets meter, like, good luck. She's super, super strong, super powerful. If you can play with her dash is different, obviously. It's not for everybody, but, you know, if you can play with that, definitely play some Ino, man. The character's definitely good. Like, she's definitely strong. Like, she's a good character. Sorry. After that, here's a pick people will probably disagree with. I'm gonna go with young Chipp. Now, again, at this point, it's not ordered, but I do think Chipp belongs in his tier. A lot of people think Chipp is bad because of his health. His health is bad. His health is low. He dies in one combo, blah, 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 blah. You can one-hit KO him if you got Potemkin, you got meter, blah, 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 blah. I totally understand that. But the whole point of Chipp is he's literally Akuma if Akuma did low damage. That's who he is. He's literally Akuma from Street Fighter if he did low damage. The balance to him is he has the lowest health in the game. He's the easiest to kill in the game, but he's also the hardest character to deal with. He's got the best offensive pressure in the game. It's not even a question. He has the best offense in the game. He just doesn't do that much damage and he has no health. You literally cannot block this character. It's not possible. He's got multiple overheads, right? He's got 6K, which is an overhead. He's got his Rekka overhead, which is slow and reactable, but then he's also got Dust, obviously. He's got a command grab. He's obviously got lows. He's got Alpha Blade, which crosses up, and he just got fastest. He's the only other character in the game with a 3-frame jab. His is his 5P, which is really, really helpful. And I think if people play Chipp and then they realize, oh, I can punish -3, -4 moves if I'm at close range, like, that's going to change the time for the character. Like, Goichi's playing Chipp for a reason. Like, Goichi ain't playing no low tier character. So Chipp is really good, really strong. His 2K in the air is plus on block. His like downward spinning dive kick drop, whatever, but it hits like 5 times and they're all overheads, combos into 2K, and it's plus on block. So I've literally watched Chipp players just jump mad high in the air and just do 2K, just drop all the way down and hit you and be plus on block. It's the most degenerate shit I've ever seen in my life. This character is extremely degenerate. He has a DP. His super is like Virgil's super from Marvel vs. Capcom 3. The character's all over the place, man. He's really good. He's really good. The only issue is defense. If you don't have good defense, you can't play the character because you're going to get smoked. And a lot of people don't have good defense right now. Next up on this list. So, here's another pick people probably disagree with. I'm going to go Nago. I think Nago's super strong. I think Nagoriyuki is mad strong. I still hate his name. God, I hate his name. But he's definitely strong. Now, the blood gauge, yes, that's a thing. But he definitely got buffed from the beta. There are moves that were completely unsafe before that are definitely completely safe to apparently neutral on block now. He's still got the same long range buttons. If his blood gauge gets high, his buttons get ridiculous range. Remember, the more his blood gauge has 3 different levels, right? There's the first stock, the second stock, and the third stock. And once the third stock fills up, it's full, right? After you fill up 2 stocks, his buttons go basically full screen, damn near. So he's ridiculously oppressive. He's got a DP style move. It's not a completely invincible, but it's like air invincible. You know what I mean? He can combo off all of that. He can combo into his special moves. He can just chain them into each other. He's really good, man. He's got his command grab as well. And if you think you know when his command grab is coming, he can just teleport into a stomp because he has another low. Or teleport into another move, or teleport back into back teleport with punish you for trying to jump out or something, or at least hit you with a I forget what button it is. I don't know if it's like his forward slash or something. The one that like swings upward and knocks you down. I don't know his buttons because I don't play him. I just fight him and I see him and I look at his frame data and I watch high level players play him. Now, if you don't know how to manage the blood gauge, yes, he seems bad. But I've fought players who know how to manage, like they don't go into blood rage at all, ever. We'll play 3, 4, 5 games and they don't go into blood rage once. And this character is terrifying if he doesn't go into blood rage. Even if he does go into blood rage, it's not the end all be all because he has a full screen super. And if you get touched or you just raw supers, GG, like the character's mad strong. Obviously he has one huge weakness, but so does Chipp, right? I see those characters as very similar. Like they're both really strong, but they have a massive weakness. But if you don't get that weakness exploited, you just have a strong character. So yeah, that's where I'm at, man. We got Nago. Next up, who do I want to put next on the tier list? This is where it gets difficult. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put Zato here. Whoa, not up there. I'm gonna put Zato here too. I'm gonna put Zato in A tier. I think Zato is mad strong. Now Zato is the hardest character to play in the game, so not that many people play Zato. And Zato by design has pretty weak defense. His buttons aren't the fastest. He doesn't really have an invincible super. He has one that's like an invincible super, but I don't think it's really invincible. I don't know. I was trying to test it to figure it out, and I couldn't really get a clear like indication. But it basically works like one. But that's his design, right? He's really, really strong and impressive. But the thing with Zato is he's only going to be as good as you are with the character. So if you're a really good Zato player and you get his offense going, he's amazing. He can do it all. He can do anything. But if you're not a really good Zato player, if you're not like, because Zato is the type of character, and I like that characters are like this in this game, they will give the character all the options and say, hey, it's up to you as the player to make the right decision. Like Zato has amazing anti-air, Zato has a command grab, you know what I mean? Zato has multiple overheads. Like he can mix you, he can pressure you. Like the Eddie pressure is mad crazy if you don't know how to deal with it. If you don't know when to mash out and like when to kill Eddie, because like you gotta kill Eddie. But like if you can't do it or you miss time, you know what I mean, what you're trying to do, you're just gonna get oppressed. He gets you to the corner mad easily. He gets on his little surfboard, skates all the way over there. Next thing you know, you get mad damage. You get leapfrogged into a wall break and you don't know what happened. So yeah, man, Zato's mad strong. Obviously, like a lot of these characters, he has a built-in weakness, but that doesn't make him bad because once he gets his offense going, he's incredibly oppressive. It's hard to deal with. Even with a character like Soul, is really hard to deal with. I mean, you can hit Eddie, but sometimes, man, Eddie can be extended so far away. Like he has a super that just throws that sword at you, but it also puts Eddie wherever you are. So like Eddie can be in front of you, Zato can be way back. Like you're fighting Eddie and ain't got nothing to do with Zato. You try to do something and he whiff punishes you for hitting Eddie or something. Like it's a lot, man. There's a lot to Zato. There's a lot to him. I think he'll only get better as the game progresses. Early in the game, it's hard to see how good he is, but if you study him, you'll see it. Now let's see. Is there anybody else I want to add to this tier? You know what? I'll do it. I'll add Potemkin up here. Again, like I said, I don't think any character in this game is bad. I don't think any character in this game is bad at all. I'm going to put Pod here just because, I mean, Potemkin obviously has some weaknesses, right? Has some issues. He's a grappler by design. He's a grappler. He's Zangief times 1,000. He's supposed to be extremely slow. He's supposed to have that. But the thing is, as a Potemkin player, if you make the right reads or you react properly, he's got amazing anti-airs. He's got an anti-air super. His command grab does half your damn life, especially if you're Chipp. He's got a super that helps him get in. You know what I mean? So when he builds up some meter, he literally has a super where he puts that what do you call it? The shield on the screen that goes towards you. That's really helpful for him getting in. He's got Hammerfall, Mega Fist. They're both technically unsafe. But if he does them the way he's supposed to do them, he won't really get blown up. Like if he just mashing Mega Fist, yeah, you're gonna punish him. If he just spamming Hammerfall and not canceling it or anything, then yeah, you know what I mean? You got to be smarter. You have to be really smart in how you play this character, or at the very least, you have to think, or you have to just overwhelm your opponent. But Potemkin is really good, man. He's terrifying when he gets in. I do not, and the thing is, there are a lot of characters in this game that want to play up close. This isn't like a zoning heavy game like that. So if you're not one of the characters that really spaces him out like that, you have to approach him. You have to, and that's what he wants you to do. So like his matchup spread can't be that bad. Like I'm sure Axl versus Pot isn't that great. You know what I mean? Kai does well against him, but you know what I mean? The characters that want to get up close, like, you know what I mean? Once people get to whiff punishing, extended limbs and stuff like that, Pot also does a ridiculous amount of damage from his normals. You know what I mean? Like he's a good character, man. All right. I got one more character for this tier, and this is the character I know the least about, so bear with me. I'm gonna put Axl up here. Now I could be wrong about Axl. This is the one character that I will say I could be completely wrong about, because I've fought maybe 3 Axl players, and they've all seemed really good. And Axl is the most difficult character to fight when you don't know how to fight him. Like, I think if you jump into this game, if you never played Guilty Gear, he will be 100% the most difficult character to fight. And maybe that's why week 1, I think he's really strong. I don't think he's ridiculously top tier, busted. I don't think he's Soul, Leo, May level, but I think he's really hard to fight. Soul is more straightforward. Like, the other characters are more straightforward. Axl just makes it feel like you can't play. He makes you feel like you can't do anything, right? If you jump, you get out of the air. If you stand on the ground, you get command grabbed, or you get command grabbed, or you're full screen, sickle into bomb explosion, right? It seems like there's nothing you can really do. If you jump, if you duck, you got to find ways specific to your character, or you got to outplay the Axl player and not just the character. That's the thing. Like you got to not even outplay, you got to make hard reads on the player. So like you got to like convince the player, okay, I'm going to jump, I'm going to try this air dash, and then you got to get in on the ground. So you got to work your way around what he wants to do. And that's the hardest part. It's also hard to build meter when you keep getting smacked for trying to go forward. So when I fight Axl players, I usually get my meter game pretty stifled, other than like when I get hit and stuff like that. But yeah, he's a really, really, really tough character to fight. He doesn't have a DP, thank God, but he does have an invincible super, so he does have a reversal when he has meter. I don't know why this character has a command grab. He has an overhead as well. He's got some really good tools. He's really impressive. But again, like I said, I could be wrong about Axl. I could totally be wrong. This is probably the character I know the least about in the entire game. So bear with me. Now I want to go down to the B tier. And B tier characters I don't think are bad. I don't think these characters are bad. I honestly could even argue to put Anji in A tier, but I'm gonna start him off in the B tier, just for a couple of reasons. I feel like Anji's a bad version of Leo. That doesn't mean Anji's bad. I feel like Leo's just a better version of Anji. Like, Anji's got Fujin, but the Fujin mix-ups are not real at all. I made a video about that. If you want to know what I'm talking about, feel free to check it out. But yeah, Fujin is not real. You can block it. You can completely block it, block the low, react to the overhead, punish it because it's unsafe, react to the hop, punish that, or at least jab him out of it, grab him out of it, whatever. So the Fujin stuff is not really real at all. It's not like Leo stuff where like it's not like Leo's mix where it's you're looking for the overhead, you get hit with this, that, or that, because he can only enforce the mix up after Fujin. So, and once he does Fujin, he can only do one of like 3 options. So you know what's coming. Block the low and react to anything else. It's really not difficult. Now his buttons are pretty good. He's got a good anti-air. Shitsu, his butterfly, is pretty good still. If you know how to use it, like use it on knockdown, use it from full screen in certain matchups. But a lot of people use it incorrectly. But if you use that move correctly, it'll help you out. He's not the fastest character, but he's not supposed to be. He's got some good range buttons. He's got good anti-airs. And if you can land the Fujin mix-up, it's really good. But I wouldn't rely on that. It's more good for combos, right? Do Fujin into the overhead when you got him in the air, and then you get your big combo damage and stuff. You know what I mean? He's got his guard point super, or his counter super, which is really good, especially if you do it properly. If you're just trying to do it in the most obvious scenarios, obviously you're just going to waste a meter. But the counter super is pretty good. And then his other super, I think, is invincible as well. I don't know for sure, though. But yeah, I think Anji's good. I just think Anji isn't as good as some of the other characters. I don't think he's bad by any means. Again, I don't think any character in this game is bad. You could even argue that I should put Anji in A tier. You could definitely argue that, but I'm gonna put him here for now. I'll say it's not completely ordered, but I'll say he's the top of the B tier. You could say he's A tier, but I'm gonna put him at the top of the B tier. Now, next up we got young Faust, emo Faust, slender Faust. Faust he's got some good tools, but he just struggles sometimes. His items are, RNG gods. It is what it is. Trumpet smokes him. The bomb can smoke him. There's too many items that don't necessarily always help him. Meteor's a good item. He's got, mini Faust is cool, but the items aren't always really worth it. Faust has got some extremely long range buttons, which is really good. But he just has to work really hard. I feel like he works harder than a lot of the other characters, especially the top tier characters. He doesn't get the kind of damage that all those characters really get. He's got some good things, I forget what button it is. Maybe it's a 6H, the one that has the pull and the home run. That button's really good. If you land the home run RC, you can get some good damage off that. That button's really good, but the thing is about his buttons is they're big and slow, and they can be whiff punished, they can be 6P'd, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Certain moves can low profile him. Faust, he's not trash or anything, but you're gonna work if you're playing Faust for sure. I mean, maybe the Faust gods, Nage and them will discover some tech. Shout out to Hook. Maybe they'll figure something out. But right now, it ain't looking too hot for your boy Faust. Looks like he needs a little bit more to compete, but he can compete. Even the characters that I'm putting in B tier, excuse me, even the characters that I'm putting in B tier, you can play them and you can compete with them for the most part. But there are gonna be some times where you're gonna be like, I literally can't play in this matchup. There's nothing I can do. You're gonna have that type of feeling, and that feeling sucks. So next up, we got Millia. So Millia. I feel like Millia's like Chipp, but not as oppressive. I feel like she's a lot like Chipp, but her offense isn't as good. And she still kind of dies just as fast as Chipp. So, I fought Millia players who, she does no damage. I fought Millia players who are, beating me for the most part the entire round. Maybe I've hit her a little bit, gunflame here and there. And then I'll land one combo in the corner, RC, wall break, and she's basically dead. And I know I say Chipp is really good, even though he has low health. But with Chipp, he has easy access to plus frames. He's got a command grab. He's got multiple overheads. And Millia's got overheads. She can TK Bad Moon. She's got stuff like that. She's got options, even though that's unsafe. And she's got really good offense. She's got her disco key every time she knocks you down. But I feel like she's very flowchart, very linear. And she's very, very air-based. If you start 6P'ing her out of the air a lot, then, they got to actually start thinking and can't just flowchart anymore. And it gets hard for a lot of Millia players. Again, she's not a trash character, but she's not Leo or May. You know what I mean? She's not way up there. She's pretty good at movement around the screen. She's really good at that. But it's not that easy for her to enforce her game. And even if she gets a knockdown, gets disco key, you block whatever she does, FD it, push her out. Now, you know what I mean? Now you got to catch her in neutral. She's too busy running around, jumping around, dashing, doing all that shit to really be blocking all the time. Scoop her out of the air. Her game plan, her offense is bad. As much as it pains me to say this, if she's going to be like this, her offense needs to be a little better, or her damage needs to be a little better. And she's got some tricky gimmicky stuff with like her grab game and stuff. But the thing is, one wrong read and she's losing half her life or more. So like, I feel like Chipp's pressure, his mix-ups and all of that is a bit safer than hers. So he's just a better version of the same character, in my opinion. And she's got some tools. She's got hair car, but that shit's unsafe. Yeah, I think Millia is definitely B tier character. Then we'll go Geo. And again, even with Geo, I don't think Geo's bad, but she's a strike throw character, right? She doesn't really have any overheads. Maybe her flip kick is an overhead, but that's reactable, anti-airable, DPable. It's mad plus if it lands though, if you can catch him slipping. But I feel like a lot of her game plan is based on catching you off guard, kind of hitting you with the gimmicks and not really just outplaying you. She's got the best movement in the game. She's incredibly fast. She can dash, far slash, and slide and go basically full screen. But other than that, you know, her cannon drill is reactable. It is plus, but once you see her do it once, you're gonna go, oh, okay, bet. And you're going to react to it. You're going to jump out every time. You're going to do whatever it is you got to do, or maybe even jump out of the plus frames. Like, she can't really enforce it that well unless you're in the corner. You know what I mean? She's good. She's got some stuff. Her strike throw stuff is good. She can get plus frames off of super. So I don't know if that's worth it. She can get plus frames off cannon drill, off flip kick, but again, those tools are reactable. She's a solid character. She's not bad at all, but she just doesn't have as much as the other characters. She just doesn't have, like, I still think they should have gave her another special move or two. I know she's supposed to be easy to play and very straightforward, and I'm sure she is, but I think that's to her detriment a little bit. And now while the game is early, a lot of people are going to get oppressed and gimmicked out by Geo, but I think if she doesn't really get I don't even know if she just needs flat out buffs. She kind of just needs to be tweaked as a character. I feel like she might be the one to get left behind as the game progresses. But even then, I don't think she's bad. Like I said, it's just when you have a character like Soul in the game, it's hard to keep up even if you're good. And last but not least, we got my boy Kai, young Kyle Kiske. Shout out to Kai Kiske. I'm not putting him here because I'm saying he's the worst in the game. That's not why I'm putting him here. I just think he's in this tier, B tier character. I don't think there are any C tier characters. Like I said, I don't think these characters are trash. Kai has really good neutral. He's got fireballs. He can sweep into heavy fireball. You know what I mean? Make you hold that. But he doesn't really have mix-ups. He doesn't have a command grab. He doesn't really have an overhead besides dust. He's got his food arc, his flip kick. If you have shock state, that is plus, but his buttons are 5 frames. So you go against a character with 3 frame, 4 frame buttons, Chipp got 3 frame, Geo got 4 frame, you know what I mean? Soul's got 3 and 4 frame, stuff like that. His offense really isn't that oppressive at all. His best block string ender, Dire Eclat, the sword swipe, the electric sword swipe, can be punished if you just defend it. It can be spaced out to be safe. You know what I mean? Depending on the block string you do or whatever, or the spacing situation, it can be safe, but it can be punishable. It's relatively safe. You know what I mean? It can be just defended and punished. So you got to be wary about that. Be careful about that. His buttons are just very negative. His long range buttons are very slow, very negative. His DP's all right, but it's not as good as Soul's. Not nearly as good as Soul's at all. His supers are okay. Dragon Install is cute, but it doesn't do enough to, like, if Dragon Install like made his stuff, Dragon Install makes some of his stuff more or slightly less negative. So like Dire Eclat with Dragon Install, I think is always safe unless you're super duper close at point blank range, because it always has the best frame data, like the pushback frame data. So stuff like that, but his fireball is still hella minus if you try to do it in a block string, super fake. His heavy fireball is a ridiculous amount of startup. His air fireball has a ridiculous amount of recovery. He's just not like, he's got a lot of good tools, but they feel very normalized. And again, I'm not saying he's terrible because he's got a lot of tools, but like if you look at the characters that I was talking about at the higher end of the tier list, what do they have? They've got multiple overheads, or at least another overhead besides dust. They got a command grab. They got good damage. They got good access to that. Kai's damage isn't amazing either. He's got some decent combo routes if you can land them. They don't always work, but he when you look at Soul and look at Kai, it's literally like Ultra Instinct Goku versus regular Super Saiyan Goku. But yeah, man, that is my week 1 tier list. Again, I could be wrong. It's gonna be fun to look back at this later, which is why I wanted to do this, because I want to look back at it. I want to revisit this a month or so later and see, oh wow, was I bugging? Was Axl really trash? Was Axl really S tier? Was Kai really S tier? Was I wrong? Was Geo really as good as Leo? Like, you know what I mean? Who knows? Am I putting Anji too low? Y'all let me know, especially if you're playing this game. I encourage everybody to play it. I hope y'all enjoying it. I really enjoy playing this game. I really enjoy watching this game. And yeah, if you guys enjoy this content, please subscribe. Thank you to all the new subs. I appreciate all of y'all. The more people subscribe, the more content I'm going to crank out. I'm here. I ain't going nowhere. Other than that, y'all stay safe. JSF, I'm out. Peace.